Imagine waking up early in the morning and stepping into your farm, only to find a troop of wild monkeys destroying months of your hard work. Crops gone, livelihood gone, and sometimes even safety at risk. Across India, this scene is becoming disturbingly common. Human-wildlife conflict is rising rapidly. Villages are under pressure, forests are shrinking, and animals are increasingly forced into the human spaces. But on World Wildlife Day 2026, a new initiative called Project Hanuman was launched in Andhra Pradesh. The biggest question is, can this project actually reduce the growing conflict between humans and wildlife in India? Human-wildlife conflict is not a small issue anymore. Across India, farmers regularly face crop damage caused by monkeys, elephants, wild boars, and other animals. Villages located near the forest experience unexpected animal encounters almost every week. According to conservation experts, this conflict is increasing because the forests are shrinking, urban expansion is growing, and wildlife habitats are becoming fragmented. When natural habitats disappear, animals do what any living creature would do. They search for food and survival. Unfortunately, that search often leads them directly to the human settlements. India is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. It has thousands of wildlife species and some of the most important forest ecosystems on the planet. But over the past few decades, rapid development, infrastructure expansion, and population growth has slowly pushed the wildlife closer to human communities. Roads cut through the forest, farmland expands near the wildlife corridors, and urban areas grow into the natural habitats. The result is a collision between the two worlds, human survival and the wildlife survival. And when this collision happens, both sides suffer. For farmers, the impact is devastating. Imagine spending months growing the crops only to lose everything in a single night. For many families, this is not just economic loss. It's a difference between the stability and hardship. Farmers often stay awake at night, guarding the fields, using lights and noise or barriers to keep the animals away. But even then, the damage continues. Over time, frustration grows and sometimes animals become victims of retaliation. This is why human-wildlife conflict is not just a conservation issue, it is also a livelihood issue. But there is another side of this story. Animals are not invading the villages out of choice. They are adapting to changing landscape. When forests shrink and food sources disappear, animals are pushed into the unfamiliar territories. Monkeys entering the villages or elephants walking through the farms are often signs of deeper environmental imbalance. Protecting wildlife, therefore, is not just about saving the animals. It's about restoring the balance between the nature and human development. Recognizing this growth crisis, Andhra Pradesh launched Project Hanuman on World Wildlife Day 2026. The initiative focuses on reducing the conflict between humans and wildlife through a combination of technology, rapid response systems, and community participation. The project aims to monitor wildlife movement more effectively, respond quickly to the animal distress situations, and involve local communities in conservation efforts. Rapid rescue teams will handle the emergency situations, while technology-based monitoring will help the forest officials track wildlife movement and prevent the conflicts before they escalate. One of the most interesting aspects of Project Hanuman is its focus on technology. Wildlife tracking systems, early warning mechanisms, and coordinated rescue teams could significantly improve how authorities respond to the wildlife incidents. Instead of reacting after the damage occurs, officials can monitor patterns and intervene early. This approach represents a shift in conservation strategy from crisis management to preventive protection. If implemented effectively, this model could become a template for other states facing the similar challenges. But the success of initiatives like Project Hanuman will depend on something larger: cooperation between the governments, conservationists, and the local communities. Sustainable coexistence requires balanced development, stronger wildlife protection policies, and awareness among people living near the forest. Because ultimately, the future of conservation in India depends on whether humans and wildlife can share the same landscape without conflict. Project Hanuman is more than just a government initiative. It represents a larger idea that protecting wildlife and protecting livelihoods do not have to be opposing goals. If conservation, technology, and community participation come together, coexistence might actually be possible. And if you enjoy stories that explore the deeper forces shaping our world, please subscribe.